Allah created languages at the time of Nimrud. That's funny. Allah created languages at the time of Nimrud. Nimrod. And before him, what were they doing? Ouch. And they're like, oh, you can speak. He's like, duh, what do you think? Oh. Right, so of course Allah didn't create languages like that. Human beings have been creating languages, but I feel that language is hardwired into us. And I do feel that language has been there before. It's been with, like I said, I feel that Neanderthals must have had language, but to a low level. And we Homo sapiens must have had language, but with the cognitive revolution, we took it to another level. That's what I think. But Allah didn't kind of like teach languages like that, like in that sense. You know, I know, you know, in the books of, you have this debate, oh, Arabic was the first language, and no, it wasn't. Arabic was the first language. How on earth was Arabic the first language? Arabic belongs to the Semitic language group. Okay, so that means it's kind of broken off from the Semitic group, from which came things like Arabic, Aramaic, Hebrew, Syriac. Things like this came from there. Just as Indo-European languages, whether it's Urdu, Hindi, French, German, English, Persian, they all belong to the Indo-European. So they came from something called Proto-Indo-European, and maybe they came from others before that. So you would have had, like, let's say Proto-Indo-European. From that would have come things like you would have had Latin, breaking away from that. From Latin, Vulgar Latin broke away from that. From that, the kind of Romance languages, Spanish and Portuguese and Italian. You would have had Germanic breaking away, and then from Germanic, English, and things like this, basically. But there is a real good book I'm going through currently called The Wheel, the Horse. I've forgotten the full title. I'm going through it on Audible. It's called The Wheel, the Horse. But it speaks about the Proto-Indo-European and how the language is diversified. Right, so cool, people. Right, let's take a look at this. Somebody said about linguistics. Right, it is actually, it's quite so Sajid saying check out about Nimrod and languages. Yeah, I think you're referring to the Tower of Babel story. But yeah, so linguistics is something I have a passion about. Language, especially. Language. I mean, linguistics, yeah, I suppose so. Right, people, let's take a look at this question. Can Muslims and non-Muslims intermarry? Intermarry, the marriage. So let's take a look at, so where does this question emerge from? This question emerges because in our day and age, we've got right, we've got, somebody said it takes two for a language to be. Radar Khan, you're absolutely correct. Language is a social phenomenon. It cannot exist individually. Therefore, and people like Wittgenstein had clearly argued that almost 100 years ago, that language cannot be a private phenomenon. It must be a public kind of phenomenon. So there's no such thing as a private language. That's absolutely true. And the Tower of Babel is not Islamic. No, that's not Islamic at all. Right, so the Tower of Babel is that God said, let's go down, that, that man, that humanity is kind of getting too smart, and they're building this tower to rise up to the heavens and reach God. So God said to the angels, let's go down and confuse them, and let's split their languages so they can't communicate with each other. therefore they can't plot together and reach us. Oh God. What a plan. God says, oh no, they're going to come and catch up with us. So this is my great plan. I'm going to go there and change their language settings. I'm going to go. So the guy's going, so one guy's going, he's saying to the other one, he's supposed to say something. He says, and all of a sudden he's speaking another language. He says, وَمَاذَا سَنَفْعَلَ الْآن? And the other's like, إيه كمان يا. And somebody else is, no lo sé, no lo sé, no lo sé. Right, so this, oh God. And one guy sitting at the back goes, oh God. This one good. Right, so that's